What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Five Mics, husband, father, educator, writer, MC. The microphone gives me wings. It's been a minute since I've given any kind of, podcast, video, blog, vlog, whatever it is. I haven't talked publicly in a while. And I just wanted to change that this morning. No reason why in particular, but a lot of reasons why, right? But this morning I woke up with the intention, and I did. I woke up and made the decision to go vote. I've always voted. Since I've been 18, and it's something I take seriously, and it's something that I do. And I woke up to go vote. I missed early voting. Just scheduling kids, blah blah blah, right? And so I'm laying in bed, getting ready to get up, and I just hop on Twitter real quick, see what's going on, walk to the Times Square, as they say. And I noticed that the number one trending topic this morning is black men. So I'm like, I don't know about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever black men is trending, it's usually for something negative, right? It's usually for something that's like either somebody died and it's like black men need to grow old, or, some celebrity did something that, that they shouldn't have done. And, it's usually some bull. It's usually some bull. So, against my better judgment, I clicked on it just to see what what was going on, like who died, like why are black men trending? It's negative. And the narrative around black men and why black men was trending is because today is election day, and there are several narratives in different communities that black men. I think the main reason why it was trending and why it was so popular is, I think, maybe Stacey Abrams in Georgia made a comment recently. I don't know when, but made a comment recently, like black men, something about like black men not understanding or being misguided by the Democratic Party and by other outside forces, and are either being swayed to vote a different way or to not vote at all. And so it was this comment about that, and then kind of everybody dogpiling onto, black men need to do this, don't need to do this, oh, we do. And that right now, black men, the term, not the people, like not me and my people, my friends, my family, like the term black men is it is being used to spark conversation. It's being used to sell ads. It's being used to get you to look at certain articles and videos, and the term black men is being used to supercharge a narrative. The same way that any group, any racialized, genderized, any intersectional group of people, if you put their that narrative out, it makes people feel a certain way, right? Like if you say black woman, if you say white men, if you say Latinx woman, if you say LGBT men or women, like if you put cross sections of people's identity in any forum, it causes people to feel away, right? To feel away. And black men, that term, is being used to supercharge a really dangerous narrative right now. A misleading narrative, I think. An important narrative. But I just want us to be a little bit more aware of these narratives, what we choose to believe, what we choose to share, what we choose to carry with us. And whatever you believe about Black men is what you believe. If you're an adult and you've had experiences throughout your life, rock out, right? Like, you know, me, I'm 40 something. I'm almost dead, right? Like, I'm good. Like, whatever you believe, whatever people believe about me or about Black men, you know, is whatever it is. But something that I've always thought about when these trending topics get popular, when folks start talking reckless about Black men, that moniker, is that there are Black boys that are watching and listening and digesting and being indoctrinated into who they are and what they could be. And I just think that is so, I just think it's so short-sighted of folks that spread that narrative, right? For you to think what you feel about Black men like me, and you know, I'm, like I said, I'm closer to the grave than I am, you know, an infant. And so I'm confident enough to be aware of who I am and what I contribute to this society and what I give to the world and my place and what kind of father I am and what kind of husband I am and what kind of neighbor I am and friend. And, you know, like, I'm confident in those things. But like, we have, there's boys out here that are walking into their own identities, that are becoming a better version of our generation of Black men and our father's generation of Black men. And what are these narratives doing to them? And I always wonder, like, I see a lot of the main people, a lot of the main, you know, people that push this narrative, you know, come from different demographics. I don't want to put the y'all or they or them, like, but people that spread these narratives, I'm like, do you have like any Black boy cousins? Like, go say, like, instead of saying that on Twitter or on Instagram to all your followers and all the people that hate Black men, like, go say that, sit down in the face of your baby nephew and tell him that. Go sit down with your son and tell him that. Go sit down with little John in your class and tell him that. Go sit down with your neighbor, Leandro, and tell him that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just wondering, like, that narrative, even if in that particular case, whatever folks are talking about, even if it's true, that narrative is just so dangerous and short-sighted to spread in the way that it's spreading right now. Like, in this moment in time, you know, I've been, you know, folks have asked me for many years, like, yo, Kanye, what you think? I just be like, all right, I don't, you know, I talk to folks individually. And, you know, I talk to, you know, I haven't made a whole lot of, you know, I haven't used my platform to push any narrative on anything really related to, like, what my platform was about, like the idea of manhood, right? Because it's so easy to fall into like an us, them, they, we, y'all think that we're better. And I think that is a very dangerous, it's not dangerous, that's dramatic. It's not the way I want to use my platform. I don't want to use my platform to promote this dichotomized, like, Black men against Black women, or Black women think this and that. I don't want to do that. I think that there's a way to be, you know, I'm a Black man, right? I'm raising a Black son. I'm also raising a Black daughter, and I have a Black wife, and I have Black family, and, like, I love Black people. And so there's a way to be pro all of those things at the same time. There's a way to be like, I'm raising an intelligent young black son, and I want him to feel the power of his presence and his space. I don't want him to shrink. I want him to be bold and different. I want him to be intelligent. I want him to be confident. I don't want him to be shy. I don't want him to be humble. I don't want him to be thank you. I don't want him to be reverent to every and anything like we were raised to be, right? I don't want him to do that. I want to be able to have that perspective, and at the same time, for my daughter, say, I want her to be bold. I don't want her to be reverent. I don't want her to shrink. I want her to be herself at all times. I want her to exemplify black girl magic all the time, and say those things at the same time, and not make it seem like I prefer one over the other, or if I say one and the other. Like, I don't think we've learned how to do that yet effectively, without putting down anybody that we're not talking about. You feel me? So that's part of the reason people ask me all the time, where's your podcast? Like, why we need your voice, And you know, when I started talking about random kid walking with no shoes on, where you going? When I started talking about you know, manhood issues and the idea of manhood and my perspective of that, you know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, it was a very different landscape. Like, there was a space where you could talk about those things and not, you know, and not feel any pushback, right? Like, you could do those things and not feel like you were talking poorly about anybody else, or, you know. And the way that the algorithms are working now, the way that social media is working now, the way that you know, podcasts work, everybody has a voice, everybody has a platform. I don't feel as comfortable. I haven't solidified my voice enough to feel comfortable putting a narrative out there yet. Like, I'm developing it, right? Like, I'm pursuing, for those that don't know, I'm pursuing a doctorate degree, a doctoral degree. I never know how to do that. I should know. I'm pursuing a doctoral degree in education. I'm solidifying some of my ideas. I'm doing a lot of research about black fathers and about black boys and how they have experienced school over the years. I'm doing the research. I'm reading. I'm talking to people. I'm talking to fathers. And that voice is going to return soon to these platforms. And I really think that people are so busy trying to be salacious and trying to get views and trying to like ride these waves of Twitter trending topics that they do not own a consistent narrative about anything. Folks just ride the wave. And right now the wave is anti-black man. I can't, like, I don't say that lightly. I don't say that flippantly. I don't say that like, oh, everybody hates black men. Like, because you could say that at any point in time over the past 100 and 300 years. Like, everybody hates black men. Everybody hates black people, right? Like, we know that. But it's like, there's something right now in this very moment in time that is taking the term and the energy behind the phrase black men and making it something that I don't think we want to go there for real. I don't think so. I mean, I know it's trendy anyway. So folks put messages out there that are going to bring people to their platforms. And I never wanted to be that kind of personality. I never wanted to be the type to be like, ooh, I want to get all the black men behind me, you know, and then we gonna show these girls, we gonna show these women what's up. Nah. That's whack. That's corny. And men that do that are whack. Women that do that are whack. Anybody that does that, like trying to like anybody that's trying to like pit one group against another is just like not really recognizing what's at stake right now, how powerful these platforms are. And I mean, I think people recognize how powerful their platforms are, but they're more concerned over the number of views and the number of clicks than like spawning real conversation, real connection. I just think that it's a little short-sighted. Anyway, when I do return more consistently and when I feel like I can do that justice, I will return to putting more content out more regularly until I have that comfort and am confident in my own voice enough to share it in a way that I think is responsible, and still hold it, and still like connected to the reason why I started this. That's when I'll be back consistently, right? The idea of manhood, is still very much ingrained into everything that I do. When I'm speaking, when I'm representing myself in the community, when I'm talking to folks, like I'm always representing the idea of manhood. I want people to talk with me and engage with me, and after that engagement, they'd be like, wow, like I've never thought of that before, or wow, like a man's never said that like that before, or I've never thought about fatherhood in that way, or being a husband in that way, right? And so that's me. Like that's always me in every engagement that I everything that I do. So that poem that I read 10 years ago, the idea of manhood is nebulous like black holes, hard to find like today, like all that is still very much accurate. Like those words came from a real place. And so when I see black men trending at 6 a.m. on election day, I'm giving the side eye, because who did that? Black men, black women, like politicians. It's voting day. Like what those trending topics like cause people to do things, right? Like, so what was somebody trying to do, or what are people trying to insinuate? How are they trying to influence our actions by making black men trend for the reason that it's trending on election Tuesday in probably some of the most important gubernatorial races in the last 30 years in Georgia and in other, like, who did that? Who you trying to? Got it. That's it. I'll holler at y'all later. This is 5 Mics, husband, father, educator, writer, MC. The microphone gives me wings. I'll holler at y'all later. All right, peace.